5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
And I am here. I don't believe it. Yes, there I am. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I'm behind things. I'm in front of things. I've just decided to give that up. Welcome along. Sloppy seconds. This is the prediction show. Week 34. The season is nearly over. Well, it is for Leicester, let's be honest with you, and it probably will be for Liverpool come Sunday evening. And we're saying congratulations, they're playing Spurs, but it would just be the right Spursy thing to do to go and beat Liverpool, wouldn't it? I think should we have a little bit of this, do you think? I don't know if this is going to work. It's a sad day for Leicester. It was heavy Vardy. I can't do it, can I? I can't. The music's good. I can't do the sympathetic voice. I really can't. But I do have a message, because I do know that Harry Kane watches this show all the week. He's a big fan. He's a subscriber. Just a quick message for you there, by the way, Harry. Here's what you could have won, and I'm sure we've got a boat for you behind the back as well. Love it. Oh, getting so much hate off Spurs fans. But you know what? Don't care. It's the prediction show. Doug's back with us. Wayne, as always. We'll do it straight after this. Good evening, gentlefolk. How are you doing?
Good evening. Well, I know you've not been well, Chris. I'm a bit of the same as well. But unfortunately, time of the year of getting ill, unfortunately. But thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for asking me. It's a pleasure to be back on, and obviously lightweight to Wayne as well, and everyone in the chat. So,
if you're wondering, everybody, where Brad is, he's off shagging his girl again. I'll tell you something. I said to him when he got this girlfriend, I said, remember, bros before hoes. Doesn't work.
Honest, Chris, if he's got a girlfriend, he's probably doing a lot of housework and ironing, to be honest.
Well, that's a very good point. And let's be honest with you, though, he's probably got a better chance of scoring than Daka has.
Oh, that's quite low, that is, Chris.
Sorry, Jess. In the blue corner, it's Wayne. Wayne, it's done. We're down. Vardy's retiring. Hopefully, Ruud van Nistelrooy is going to go at some point. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, it's time. It's like sometimes like staying on at a workplace too long. You know, some things just carry on a bit too long, really. I do feel sorry for Vardy that at the end of Brendan and with this season, he got a lot of goals. Well, he got 5 goals, did he, in the first part of the season under Cooper? Nothing under Van Nistelrooy. And it would have been nice to see him break Michael Owen's record, having called him basically a tapping merchant, not very skillful striker. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So it is time for him to go. And like he says, it still could be effective in other teams. It'd be interesting to see where he goes, Chris.
Muted.
Are you on mute, Chris?
I'm spending too long with you, Wayne. That's what it is. Because I'm trying not to cough on air. I put myself on mute and forgot. If you do want to see our tribute to Jamie Vardy, the first, there'll be a couple, I'm sure. Get onto LTID TV, look under the recent shows, which is the top playlist, and you'll see Jamie Vardy leads Leicester. Do check that out. We had Locks from Blue Tinted Glasses and Jack from The Final Whistle on as well. On the other side of the coin, though, Doug, in the red corner, 1 point needed. I mean, I'm glad that you didn't win it at Leicester, because that would have just been sticking the knife in and twisting it. And I think most football fans outside of North London, or and half of North London as well, will be glad that you could actually win it by beating the toilet bowlers.
Yeah, look, I think I've said all season that if we're going to win it, then win it at Anfield. I think that would be the most special thing. And I think last night kind of proved as well that Arsenal, for as much as they've been good, 13 draws is really poor. They actually had 12 draws in their invincible season, so they've had one more draw as well. So I think we're being honest with ourselves. I think you look at Arsenal, and even Man City could catch them as well. It's one of those ones where I think Arsenal have to focus on the Champions League now. And for us, it's made our life a lot easier. I mean, I still see Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, Liverpool could still lose 5 games, their last 5 games, and for them to win their next 5 games." It ain't happening. And plus, I think there's like a 9-goal swing between the two sides as well. Honestly, for us to win it again, two in 5 years is unbelievable. And I think you'll be very, very happy. I think you'll both be happy that it's not Man City winning it this time.
Yes, I mean, I and you are very crackly, by the way, again, Doug. I don't know sort of why that is, but yes, happy that it's not Man City. Look, I've got nothing against Liverpool, and I love the fact that Liverpool are going to equal Man United's record by winning this tomorrow. Because Man United be going on, "Oh, we've won more than Liverpool." Because I'm old enough to remember when Liverpool were the big team. You'll remember that, won't you, Wayne?
We're just winning every European Cup. Very dominant.
Yeah. And it's taken them a long time, and that's what makes me laugh with Man United fans, that they expect to get, oh, we're going to win it next year. Was it 30 years, Doug, that it took you to win it again?
30 years, yeah.
Yeah. So, you've got a long wait, Man United, a long wait. Right. Well, let's get into the old predictions, which is what we're here to do. Last week's results, you might not be able to see them because they were quite spread out over the day. So, but just to run through it, Brentford beat Brighton 4-2. That was a good start for me because I went 2-2. Then Palace and Bournemouth drew 0-0. I got a point there. No, I didn't. No, that I'm looking at Brad there. And then Brad got 2-0 to Man City. At this point, I've still got no points. Wayne's got 1. Then Wayne comes back with a 1-1 for West Ham for 2-2 for West Ham Southampton, which was 1-1. I've still got no points at this stage. Villa, Newcastle was 4-1. None of us went for that. Bloody hell, Newcastle. Fulham, Chelsea. Chelsea nicked it at the end. I had fucking 1-1. Then bloody Enzo Maresca's bloody Blue Army. So I didn't get anything for that one. So 1, 2, 3, 6 games in, I'm sat on no point. Funny enough, with the Eurovision coming up. I then did go on a bit of a run of getting 4 correct outcomes. Spurs Forest, somebody got spot on. And can I just say that I had predicted Arsenal 2, Crystal Palace 1. You cannot trust Arsenal to bloody blow up a balloon. What the hell? That would have
How
got
late was the equaliser, Chris? How late did Palace score?
it very late. I
Yeah.
think it was after the 90. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, Arsenal, you don't deserve to win the title. And I hope Man City do catch you because you've fucked me up. So, I have got 4 points this week. Wayne, well done, mate. You got 8. Brad got 8 as well. I don't know what you got. Do you know what you got, Doug?
I'm not sure. I know I got a couple right, so I'm not entirely sure, but I do know I got a couple right.
You're back up to 4th, so well done there. I'm doing my impersonation of Bryce Nickers on a wedding night. I'm falling very, very quickly. I'm down to 9th, only a point ahead of Shane. And Wayne, I've moved you up to 15th because I got rid of Anthony, basically because I want you to catch Brad up. So I've got rid of one in between there on that one. So there is the table. Nate, who's been leading, to be honest with you, it's been like he is the Man City of the prediction league, to be honest with you, and he has got up there and he's been top for a long, long time. I think the title's over, Nate. If you're watching, I think the title is over. But anyway, the weekend fixtures. There's not so many of them, and because, of course, it is FA Cup weekend. There's 7 on the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. There's 1 midweek, and like I said, because of the FA Cup. So Chelsea are hosting Everton, the 12:30 kickoff. Brighton West Ham, what we call the Potter Derby. Newcastle Ipswich, Southampton Fulham, Wolves. I don't know who they're playing. Some team that's we don't talk about in only in dark corners when we're on our own. Bournemouth hosting Manchester United, and Liverpool, like we say, going for the title and hoping to get a win at Spurs. So let's get into this. The first game then, Chelsea hosting Everton. Chelsea very lucky the last time out. You can see the last games there, so I don't go through them. I mean, Everton, I don't. This is a difficult one. It's starting off with a really hard one to choose that way.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea, they're not doing too badly, actually. Maresca seems to get in the running right. I mean, one loss, 1 drawn, 1. No, that's not right, is it? Because lost against Fulham. No, they beat Fulham. Sorry, you beat Fulham. Yeah, so basically, Leno.
You've been drinking, right?
I know. Unfortunately, I'm not drinking it in a minute, Chris. I'm going on a health spree.
Oh.
But Leno made a lot of saves for Fulham. Otherwise, it would have been more, probably 3 or 4-1. They played really well against Fulham. Reece James is back, regular right back. He's quality because he's been out for a large portion of the season. And they had 59% possession, 13 shots, 8 on target, which is a lot, which explains why Leno, I think, had 5 crucial saves. Maresca seems to be getting them going at the right time, and it's a really interesting running for that 2nd and 3rd spot in the Champions League. And it's interesting that KDH really is only a cup fringe squad player, so it's going to be interesting whether Maresca said to him, keep patient, you will get your chance, but I don't know whether he's going to get it at Chelsea. So I'd say, bearing that in mind, I think it's going to be a 2-2, Everton and Chelsea.
Oh, right in at the start with a Desmond. Yes. A 2-2 from the kicker. You were catching me up just on the Desmonds, mate.
Well, do you know what? A lot of times Desmond's just seems a logical choice, doesn't it, Chris?
Yeah. What did you say? You're not drinking at the moment? Yes.
Me and Doug have got soft drinks. You've got.
Be careful what you're going to say there. Be careful what you're going to say. Don't forget to get your predictions in the chat, guys, but please do put the game that you're talking about down so I know which one I'm reading. Trying to get the form table up, and it's disappeared. Doug, when I'm doing that, talk to me. Everton, look, they are a different side than the Moyes, aren't they?
Yeah, 100% they are. Thought they were a bit unlucky against Manchester City. I know obviously City did get the 2-0 win in the end, but since Moyes has come in, they look a far proper outfit. That's a really difficult one to call. Obviously, it's 12:30 on Saturday, and you look at that. You look at this game, and I don't really separate both of them. I think Everton could go to Stamford Bridge and really frustrate Chelsea. Chelsea are a little bit inconsistent. One week they're beating Fulham 2-1. The next they're drawing 2-2 with Ipswich.
Yeah.
Obviously Wayne's gone for like a 2-2 there. I wouldn't be surprised if it finishes 2-2, but I just think with Chelsea, with that late win against Fulham, I think it will give them a bit of confidence. And obviously they do have Conference League coming up this week as well. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Maresca's boys. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea.
2-1 Chelsea. Well, just to let you know that Brad has gone, because he's not here, but he has sent his prediction through. Brad has gone 2-0 to Chelsea. Now, on the form table, at the moment, Chelsea are in 9th. Everton down to, I thought they'd be higher, they're down to 12th. On home form, see, this is where it gets interesting. On home form, Chelsea are 2nd in the form table. And away form, Everton are, they're 5th, which doesn't make my choice any easier. But I had got a score in mind because it's at Stamford Bridge, and I am actually going to agree with one of you. But it's Doug. I've gone 2-1 as well. So let's see what everybody is going. Prashant, hello again, Chris. Though your coffee's still lingering, you are sounding better. I think it's the fact that I've gone on to alcohol. Chelsea 1, Everton 3, says Prashant. Wow. The only one so far that's gone for a Everton win, but Chelsea is so unpredictable. It could happen, couldn't it? Craig's agreed with you, Wayne. He's gone 2-2, and Blue Fox has gone 1-1, so he has gone for the draw as well. This is going to be interesting, Wayne, because it is Brighton hosting West Ham. Potter's old team with Potter's new team. Brighton, I feel, should be doing better than where they are in the table. I mean, they're sat at the moment in 10th, but they promised so much more, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, to be honest. And when I pop in for a pint near where I work, there's a guy, and he's a Brighton fan. I always have a really good chat with him in the last few seasons. And at the end of the last season, I said to him, so is this your model then? Are you going to carry on doing this for the next few seasons? He said, oh, no, this year we're definitely going for Europe. We're going to try and hold on to players, spend a bit of money, develop the squad, and just see whether we can actually do it. Because he's very proud of their owner. He said he's a Brighton fan through and through. He's a really good businessman. They've set up the model. They've got a great scouting system, is it, in South America? And they sell their players for a lot of money. And their players are really good quality players, footballers, tenacious, intelligent. But it's not happened for them, has it? They've not. They're in a group of people like Fulham that nearly get runs together, but then lose, draw a couple and lose. So,
but Wayne, do you think that's? I was talking about this earlier. In fact, yesterday. Sorry, Leicester. We sailed very close to the sun, and we got burnt. Brighton, they've kind of modelled themselves on us because we were the team that everybody wanted to be like. Now everybody wants to be Brighton, but they pulled away, didn't they? They didn't quite go for it, if you like. Do you think that's the right move? Because financially, they look pretty stable.
Yeah, they do, and that's built upon year on year, and it just runs a really good business. They've got a great model. They do make money. They're one of the only couple of teams, apart from selling hotels to yourself, on pure player trading. They're one of the rarities in the division that they do make profit every year, not just a little bit of profit. I mean, was it 1 year 50 odd or 70 odd £1 million profit in a season? I mean, that is incredible, really, because most Premier clubs, like Rob Tanner said, operate at a loss, don't they, just to compete in the Premier?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at the form, like won, drawn, lost, drawn, lost. And they have got a lot of injuries as well, so they've got a lot of people out. They lost against Brentford, who have flipped in a brilliant way, but against Brighton, they got the home form back and won 4-2. They drew into each, and then just Brentford, Wemo and Wissa, two super wingers and striker.
Oh, aren't they the what players that are also very good at dynamite cricket or whatever it was?
Yeah, exactly. They are. I mean, to have a winger and a forward scoring, they're up to 34 combined goals. I mean, my God,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable. And when you think our top scorer Vardy's got 5, I mean, it makes you want to cry, really. But I'd say, yeah. So they haven't made it, and that's the thing. Like you said, Chris, anybody to try and get into Europe, you've got to gamble. And if you gamble and it goes wrong, you're in trouble. Like any business, if you spend a load of money on stock, like Del Boy, Chinese talking dolls or whatever, or Russian VHS machines, if it goes wrong, it goes wrong seriously. So I'd say Brighton will finish where they are now. But I do think they will beat West Ham. And I think it will be 2-1 to Brighton.
I think, Doug, that Wayne's been watching the porn version with his dolls and what have you of Fools and Horses. It made me laugh. If I laugh, I cough. Interesting. If you've seen a few programs on YouTube, when I go down my YouTube holes at 3:00 in the morning when I can't sleep, West Ham fans are really, really unhappy with Potter, and they're actually wanting him out. And when you look at it, they are currently sat in 17th, won 9, drawn 9, minus 18 goal difference, 36 points. Any other season apart from this or last season, they would have been in a relegation battle. It's only because the 3 teams below them, including Leicester, are so shy that they're safe. They were better placed under Lopetegui, whatever he was called, than they are now. Did Leicester maybe dodge a bullet with not signing Potter?
I think you're absolutely right when you speak about Potter. But it's been very, very meh for West Ham. I don't think anyone expected them to be as low as they are, if I'm being honest. But as you say, any other season, I think it might have been a relegation battle for them. And they're playing, arguably, their bogey side. They absolutely hate playing Brighton. I think they've only won actually once against Brighton. I think that was last season as well. So I think home advantage is key here. And I think when we look at Brighton, is the fact is as well, there's no João Pedro because obviously he got sent off against Brentford. It was stupid red card, I've got to say. I think he had one previous. I can't remember who it was against, but he had one where he actually he went to really hurt somebody, managed to miss. So when he just lashed out, and unfortunately, players have got a temperament. He had a bit of a temperament in that game. But I just look at this West Ham side, and they should be doing so much better. They've got Jared Bowen, they've got Mohamed Kudus, Lucas Paqueta, you've also got Nicholas Fulkrug there as well. West Ham should be doing a lot better than they actually are.
Is this thing? Sorry, Doug. Do you think this is like the excuse that Ruud van Nistelrooy is, in churning out, privately, like, this isn't my team, these aren't the players I wanted? Do you think Harry Potter? Do you think Graham Potter's try to claim that.
Well, Harry Potter would need to have a magic wand to get this West Ham side playing. I think the point is that Potter does need to get his own players on. Obviously, Evan Ferguson will be ineligible for this game because he's obviously on loan from Brighton to West Ham. But I don't think that's going to make any difference in this West Ham side. I know that mathematically they're not quite safe yet as well. So I think West Ham lose this game, but I don't think they are in any danger of going down because I think mathematically now I think Ipswich have to win their last 5 games and I can't really see that. So I'm going to go the same as Wayne. I'm going to go 2-1 Brighton.
2-1. Ooh, right. Now, I'm surprised at West Ham. I think this is a cautionary tale of be careful what you wish for. They wanted Moyes out. They didn't like Moyes, although he'd won them a European Cup. And look, managers have best by dates and what have you. Maybe Moyes I'm not a West Ham fan, so I don't know. Maybe Moyes had done that, had run out of steam. But look, he went out on a high. Look at how he's turned Everton round. West Ham fans must be sat there thinking, what the bloody hell did we do? Graham Potter isn't the Messiah. Everybody wanted him. Leicester, we would have had him instead of Cooper possibly if we'd waited a bit longer, but we got fed up with waiting for him, as Rob Tanner said. Maybe his little magic touch isn't there anymore. And sometimes managers can be absolutely brilliant with one club, like he was with Brighton. But then when he goes to other clubs, it doesn't work out for him. Moyes at Man United, although he wasn't really given time, brilliant at West Ham, brilliant at the moment with Everton. But look, let's have a look at the form tables. So, Brighton in the overall form table are in 12th. West Ham United are in 17th. At home, Brighton are got to be in there somewhere, haven't they? Brighton don't exist at home. 19th, that's why. They are actually 19th at home form, Brighton. They haven't won in their last 5 home games. They've drawn 2, lost 3. And in away forms, West Ham United are 15th. They've only won 1. So with that said... Well, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to go 1-1 because I can't see how... It looks like it's going to be the dullest game of the season. Brad's repeated himself and has gone 2-0 again. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. I don't know what Prashant is watching, but he's gone 3-0 to Newcastle over Brighton. He's followed him, he's gone 2-0 Newcastle. Newcastle are playing Ipswich next. Brighton 2, West Ham 1. Says Blue Fox. So he's agreed with you two. Sorry, my mistake with the earlier one. Brighton 2, West Ham 1. Everybody likes a 2-1. Now, look, if it's 1-1 until the 95th minute, Brighton's only down the road from me. And if Brighton score until like the 95th minute, I am getting the train to Brighton because I haven't got a car anymore, and I'm going to blow that bloody stadium.
Safe to say if that happens, Chris, it will definitely not brighten up your day.
Hey!
Don't encourage him. Don't encourage him, Wayne. Please. Oh my God. Oh. I thought I was bad.
You're welcome.
You're here all week. Look, Prashant and Craig, this is Newcastle now. They're at home to Ipswich. You've got us. I mean, Newcastle, they've had a bit of a torrid. I mean, 4-1 to Aston Villa. Did not see that coming. Aston Villa were really stung by that, getting knocked out of the Champions League, weren't they? But Newcastle at home, and they're always a different proposition.
Yeah, they did get stung by Villa. I mean, we didn't see that coming. But as Unai Emery said in the interview after the match, the interviewer said, "So did you use the energy? He was really angry about being going out the cup." And he says, "Yeah, well, and we use that energy." And you could tell. I mean, because Newcastle are so high press, they're so organised, they're so athletic, and basically, Villa did to Newcastle what Newcastle normally do to other teams. They were all over them. They had loads of chances, and it's really interesting actually, Newcastle and Villa, because I think they will end up being behind Arsenal. But Newcastle, they're in form. Apart from when they played Villa, they won the previous 5 games, exactly the same form, top of the form table, same as Liverpool. Barnes at the moment is on fire, isn't he? I think he's got 2 assists and 5 goals in the last sort of 5 games. Doing his old shooting.
He didn't celebrate against us, in fairness, did he?
Yeah, no, he didn't. But what's interesting with Barnes is, like, there was one goal that he scored. It was tap in, and he's got the ball on the edge of the box, shot, and as soon as Barnes saw that Isak was going to shoot, he started running towards the ball, just like Gary Lineker used to do. He said, run into the space. If the ball comes to you, you go on easy tap in. And Barnes does look really on it, to be honest. And the Newcastle fans absolutely love him, because he gets the ball and he goes into, like Salah, he just tries to attack the box and get a shot off. So I think Newcastle understand that the race is on for the Champions League. Villa and Chelsea are coming in form, so I think they won't take the foot off the gas, and I've got them down for a 4-1 against Ipswich.
Ooh, okay. Ipswich, Doug, 2 of the 3 are already down. I think if they lose, this will condemn Ipswich as well, I believe. I'm not sure, because depending what West Ham do, they'll have 21 points with 4 games left. So what's the 4 3s of 12? That will give them 33. Yeah, so they'll be behind West Ham. I think they're down. It's been a gallant effort by Ipswich. A bit of a Luton Town. Luton Town went down in 3rd place, didn't they? I've got to say, I would have loved them to have stayed up, because I think it's a great story that they've had. If they go down, I think McKenna will actually end up leaving, possibly. I mean, Spurs apparently are at the point of getting ready to sack Ange. Leeds are already talking about sacking Farker. Falling apart again, Leeds. Can Ipswich get anything? And if they do, surely it's just putting off the inevitable anyway.
Yeah, look, I think the writing's been on the wall fairly well for Ipswich, unfortunately. I think they've given it a real go. I think they've had a couple of really good games. Obviously, winning against Chelsea, drawing against Chelsea, that was very, very good. Last week against Arsenal, obviously the red card changed the game completely. It's a stupid challenge from Leif Davis. Don't know what he's trying to do. It looks, that saying he wants to obviously do someone. I think that's the term to obviously do Saka, because it was a really bad challenge right down the Achilles. So obviously he'll be suspended for this game, and he'll obviously be suspended for the next 2 games after this as well. So 3-match ban. Obviously the big talk is about Liam Delap as well, where he's going to go. This is the thing, I said this a couple of weeks ago when I was last on. Liam Delap has a big decision to make in the summer. Does he stay at Ipswich, find himself in the Championship like he did, and then see what sort of happens after that, or does he go for that real big money move? For me. So
I was just going to say, funnily enough, just as you're saying that, I'm looking on Sky Sports. transfer news, and it's coming Newcastle to rival Chelsea and Man United for Ipswich striker Delap.
Fair play, because 13 goals in an Ipswich side that's battling for relegation is very impressive for me. Look, Ipswich are going to have a gallant go. I agree with you. I do think McKenna will be on his way out when they do go down. And unfortunately, I just think this could be it. I think this could be the match that sees Ipswich go down, unfortunately. And I know, obviously, we've got Leeds and Burnley coming up. I just want a real change. Somebody new to come up. Sheffield United come up, then I'm like, oh my goodness me. It's basically the three teams that went down again coming straight back up. Obviously, you've got Sheffield United in there. You've got Coventry, Frank Lampard, of course. You've got Sunderland in there, and Bristol City. Which would be amazing for Bristol City, not having a Premier League side until potentially this season would be amazing. So, but Ipswich are going to have Alan go. But the last team you want to play was Newcastle, who I think are rampant at home. So I'm going to go for Ipswich to be relegated and a bit of a heavy defeat. I'm going to go 3-0 Newcastle.
3-0. Ooh. Okay. Well. Won't be surprised to know the difference in form for these two teams. Newcastle, third in the form table. At home, they are fifth in the form table. And at home, Ipswich are actually 15th. But they've only had the one win and one draw in their last 5. I'm pretty much agreed with you two guys. I mean, Brad's gone 4-0. Wayne, you obviously went 4-1. Doug 3-0. I went 3-1. To Newcastle. Again, interesting that you've got two clubs coming up, just taking up what you were saying there, Doug. Two clubs that are coming up in Leeds and Burnley. Leeds are already talking about sacking Daniel Farke. I mean, what a ridiculous thing to let that out if they are even considering it. But, look, he can get a team up, but he can't keep them up. Scott Parker, he's again very good at getting teams up, but he never lasts, does he?
It's very strange, isn't it? I had Carl on my podcast, which also be out tomorrow morning, and he was of the opinion that this should have been done last season. He was very, very fortunate to survive his job when Southampton beat Leeds in that playoff final. And the form before that as well. If you remember, Chris, I think Leeds went on something like 7 defeats out of 11 games to end the season, which, when you're wanting to go into real playoff form, is not the best, to say the very, very least. So, and the same with Parker. I have doubts. I have my doubts whether Scott Parker can, finally learn from his mistakes from previous times. He didn't last very long at Club Brugge. Didn't last very long at Bournemouth when they came up as well. And obviously he's got he's got a 9-0 to his name as well. Obviously Bournemouth at Anfield. So look, welcome back Burnley, welcome back Leeds, but. Farke, for me, I wouldn't be surprised to get rid of him because I think Daniel Farke has not got the best record in the Premier League. I think he deserves a shot at getting Leeds up there. But if they were to get rid of him, then they have to have a replacement in mind. It's no good sacking Farke to get somebody in unless you've got somebody lined up. So Leeds have got to be careful with that. But Burnley, I don't think they'll sack Scott Parker because I was watching the Burnley-Sheffield United game and it was quite ominous that Scott Parker has the full support of the Burnley players. So there's no way that Burnley are going to get rid of Scott Parker. So as you say, be careful what you wish for if you're a Leeds fan.
2 managers for Leicester there, Wayne.
Yes, it is interesting. This whole Championship Premier, you guys, I think you did the thing on how long is a term for a Leicester manager, didn't you? So how many managers we've had and how long they've lasted. It'd be interesting to see,
1
like,
year, 6 months was the average.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see, like, Liverpool and other teams that are maybe more successful, where they have, although they can attract a high caliber manager, obviously, but how long, whether there's a correlation between, but it just shows you a lot of teams, you can play brilliant football in the Championship, but you cannot do that in the Premier. You've got to do what Forest do, what we did when we won the Premier. You've got to go for lower possession, but be dynamic and athletic and have quality up front and at least a good solid defence to stand a chance of staying in the Premiership.
Yeah.
And it's now all these teams are just trying to gamble. More often than not, it doesn't come good. So it's like Burnley got relegated, come back up, having been in the Premiership. Will they get relegated straight back again? It's just one of those conundrums, isn't it? And that's like, do we stick or twist with Rude if he can bring young players on, or do we,
Twist.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, it's interesting. Some of the fans, who do you go for though? So it's
Willie
a gamble.
Caballero.
Yeah, you've got to gamble, but if you gamble and get it wrong, you can end up with an expensive squad. Paying off a manager on a 3-year deal, after 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not agreeing with that, Doug? You were shaking your head at Willie Caballero.
No, I think you need you definitely need a more experienced name. And obviously I know Caballero is obviously Maresca at Chelsea, but not.
He was at Leicester as well. He knows the club, but we'll see. Southampton, Fulham. I'm really, really disappointed that Southampton have equalled, Derby's worst ever season, and they've got 11 points. Because the way and I know all the Leicester fans were saying, yeah, we want Derby to remain on the worst ever points, etc. However, if Southampton had stayed and gone down with just 10 points, that would have been the story of the season. Because, they would have had the worst. Nobody would have talked about Ipswich and Leicester. They would all have talked, and it would have taken the spotlight off us. So, purely selfish reasons, but they're hosting a Fulham side here, Wayne. Look, they're 7 points behind Leicester. We've got to play them, and we were lucky to beat them last time out. That could take it down to 4 points. We could end up bottom.
We could end up bottom. In fact, they've got double our points in the last 6 games because they've drawn 2 games, haven't they? They drew against Palace, who are they're a good side, and they drew against West Ham, who, as we've said, apart from their start, and we have been so woeful, they would have been in a relegation fight like Man United would. It's interesting, Simon Musk, when he talks about it's a privilege to be managing them on an interim basis, but the question is, so how well are Southampton going to do when they go down? How well are we going to do? It's just how well are Ipswich going to do? We'll buy all that young talent. And what did they spend, 120 million? Will that benefit them in the Championship? It's going to be really interesting to see how we all do. Getting relegated. But I'd say in this game, I think they will give Fulham a good go. And I think it's going to be a Southampton 2, Fulham 3.
Ooh, a goal fest. Brad, sorry.
What an insult, Doug. What an insult.
Look, I'm not well. I'll blame it on that. Doug, Fulham, again, a bit like Brighton, probably hoping to have done better than they actually are. That said, they are still sort of in 9th, which isn't bad. But Southampton do reasonably well at home, but is this a shoe-in for Fulham?
I wouldn't say it's a shoe-in, but I thought Southampton last week against West Ham, that goal that they scored and the celebrations after that was embarrassing. Look, you may have equalled Derby's points total, but it's been a very, very poor season as far as you're concerned. Fulham are unlucky to get beat by Chelsea. I think I think Chelsea had a bit of a spur in that game, and Fulham did take the lead in that game as well. So
Yeah.
look, I think I can see Fulham bouncing back in this game. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of questioning Wayne where he thinks the two Southampton goals are coming from. I think Southampton will get one, but Fulham, Muniz, Jimenez, Traore, Pereira, Iwobi, they've got far too much for Southampton. So I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham for this one.
Oh, you've agreed with Brad. So do you want to change it?
Right. No, that's fine. No, that's fine.
Excuse me. Brad has also gone 2-1. What I was going to go for, but I'm not now, because I can't agree with Brad. Look, in the form table, Southampton are one over us. We're in 19th, where Fulham are actually in 11th. At home, Southampton are 19th again, and away, Fulham are 10th. Now, I'm going to stick with my original thought. Despite me agreeing with Brad, I'm agreeing with Doug, and Doug knows what he's talking about. So I am going to go. So I can creep with the best of them. I'm going to go 2-1 as well to Fulham. Prashant, that was going to be my other one, 3-1 to Fulham. Craig's gone 3-0 to Fulham, and Blue Fox has gone 2-0 to Fulham. So nobody's really giving us much of a chance, giving Southampton much of a chance. Talking about not having much of a chance, Wolves are hosting Leicester City. I'm going to swap it around again to give oh my God, my memory, Wayne, the chance to talk about Leicester. So, Doug, Wolves,
Yeah.
bit of a funny team because they changed their manager and it looked like they were the one that got it spot on because they shot up the table, didn't they? And then suddenly, and it wasn't just a new manager bounce, it seemed to go on, but they've kind of fallen back down. Are they a one-man team in Kuna?
Well, the last 5 games wouldn't tell you that. They've won the last 5. They've 5 on the bounce for a team that was battling relegation. And we saw earlier this season that Gary O'Neill just wasn't the manager for Wolves. Yeah. As simple as that. This new guy's came in, Pereira, and I've got to say he's done very, very well. He's steadied the ship, and I think Wolves last week against Manchester United. I think I said last week. I thought Wolves would have beaten Manchester United anyway. I had a feeling that they might. But to win 5 on the bounce is quite incredible. Obviously, it looks like Cunha is actually going to Manchester United. It looks like he's going to be leaving. So, but I think they'll be all right. I think they'll be all right. They've got Strand Larson. They've got Sarabia as well. Obviously, scored that perfect free kick against Manchester United last week. And they're at home against you guys. And I think if I was a Wolves supporter, who would I be facing this weekend is probably the team that's just gone down in Leicester. So, with that being said, I think you'll get a goal. But I think Wolves are on just a really good run at the moment. I'm going to go for them to make it 6 from 6. I'm going to go 3-1 to Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Oh, just twist that knife while you're sticking it in, Doug. Wayne, I mean, what is there left to say about Leicester? I mean, everybody's predicting Vardy's going to get either a hat-trick or a couple of goals. He needs 2 for his 200. I jokingly said, like I think I said earlier, come on Ipswich, last home game. If he's not done it, you'll be down anyway. Just let him score so he can get the 200. But I don't know. I mean, everybody was sort of saying, well, the last 2 games have been better. Now, we only lost 1-0 to the champions-elect. So you could argue that that's a good performance when we've been shipping 4 and 5s. We did not have one shot on target. Now, I don't care whether we are playing Southampton or whether we are playing Liverpool. Not have one shot on target is disgusting. And all right, I know Buenete hit it, in row double Z and what have you at the end. But just, it's awful. Why is he still here? Why is Ruud van Nistelrooy still here?
Because he's the manager. He's paid to. He's the manager of Leicester City. Yeah, I get that. We did it at the post though, didn't we, Chris? We did it at the post.
I mean, that's success, is it? We hit the post.
Well, amazingly, my brother used to take some of the free kicks for a football match, and if he used to hit the bar or the post, the manager used to berate him and saying, "What are you doing, missing the target?" But as far as this guy's on the football pitch, we were like, "Oh, what a brilliant free kick! You very nearly scored." Whereas the manager's version was, "That was shit. You didn't hit the target because the target is not the wooden structure around the goal.
Yeah,
it's the whole. Yeah. So that's it. So I think that was a good result. But do I think that it's been far too slow in making these changes because it's his lack of awareness of where Leicester City are as a team. So he must have known we were down, or realised, all the fans did, and we were saying, please play Monga, please play El Canuspor, bring Brennan Ott on. Because me and brother went to that Newcastle match, and Brennan Ott, when he came on, yeah, he did run around, he did fall over sometimes, but my God, he was a trier, and that's something that was lacking. And I do think some of the Leicester players like Faz, the contract's up and they are playing to get a move. That's what I think some of those players are.
So you mentioned Faz, it felt like somebody just walked over my grave.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great game though, didn't he, really? He had a great game.
He did that game.
I think that's encouraging because we've stopped, because mathematically we are down, but we've stopped a few weeks ago, a lot of fans thinking we're going to survive. And most fans saying, okay, so what preparations are we doing for the championship? And Luke Thomas, I mean, a lot of fans would not want him to even kick a ball for Leicester again. But against Salah, he played a blinder against Salah. And that is his limit. So in the championship, I think he'll be a brilliant player. So there's a lot of positives for Leicester. But I don't think it's definitely not going to come this weekend against Wolves. Because as Doug's rightly said, they've won 5 of the last 6. And even when Cunha is suspended, Strand Larsen, who has been struggling, starts scoring goals. So with both of them playing, I'd say it's good. Well, I don't really want to say this. 3-1 to Wolves. Yeah.
3-1 to Wolves, right. By the way, have the police stopped looking for Mo Salah yet? Because they want to try Luke Thomas's back pocket. I think he's in there. Look, on any other day, Liverpool would have stuffed us 5-6-0. You're shooting. No disrespect, but your shooting was abysmal. You should have been scoring a lot more. Did we defend well? We did panic defended. We were throwing ourselves in the middle of the ball. I can't say that it was sort of training ground defending, but we still weren't causing you any problems when we went forward. And that's the problem. And yes, we got a draw against Brighton, but in a normal season, if getting a draw is playing well, we would end up with 38 points in a season. In a normal season, that probably wouldn't keep you up. And Wolves, like you say, I hate Wolves. I absolutely hate them with a vengeance. Not that I like to hold, vengeance or anything like that. But who was it they pinched off us, Wayne? Mark McGee.
Oh yeah, Mark McGee.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was like the 1980s. Like I say, I don't hold a grudge at all, but I can't fucking stand Wolves. Yeah, exactly.
No, it's interesting as well because Wolves are showing us what could have been for us.
Yes. Interestingly, if you're basing it on the last 10 games, Wolves are in second place. No, they're not. That was on the home form. Based on the last 6 games, Wolves, believe it or not, are actually top of the form. They haven't lost, like you said, in 6, won 5, drawn 1. Fucking hell. On home form, on this is on 10 for some reason. Don't know why that's jumped up to 10. Let's try and do this. Let's go to last 5. For the last 5 form table, Wolves, like I say, are top. On the home form, Wolves are actually 9th in home form. In away form, well, we don't need to look at that. Moving on quickly. Move on. Nothing to see here. Just move on. Move on, everybody. Brad has interestingly gone 2-0 to Leicester. Yes. Wonder why where he is in the prediction league.
Is he like on some tablets called Deludimo or
something? Exactly. Look, are we going to have a Vardy bounce the same way that we have a new manager bounce? If it is going to happen, it's going to happen at home. So it will happen against Southampton or it will happen against Ipswich. It won't happen against Nottingham Forest away. I don't think it will happen against Bournemouth on the last game of the season. It might. I don't think it will happen against Wolves. That said, I think he will get a goal, Jamie Vardy, even if it's a penalty, because that will take him up to 199 goals. That's our Premier League goals. So I think he will get one. Unfortunately, are Wolves going to score 2 or 3? That's the question. You two guys have said 3, haven't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to
Am I
agree with
right
you.
in saying, Preston Wayne, that Vase is leaving Leicester at the end of the season?
Hey!
Yes! Oh, we can't but fucking hope that there's somebody idiotic enough out there to buy the wanker. Yes.
I thought I had seen something to say that he was leaving. Honestly, no disrespect to him, but I think he is an absolute bomb scare, and I think you're doing very well to get rid of him.
I think if we find somebody that's willing to take them off us, even if it's for $500,000, we grab their hands and we run out that room as quickly as possible. You know,
run straight to the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
So off your stream content, we'll go there when Fast goes.
Yes, I don't know. I've not seen anything from a reliable source, if you like. You know, it is one of the sportsworld.com sort of things. But yeah, please God, I'll go to church. I will go to church if you let Face leave. Nate is in. Good evening, Nate. Guess what, mate? You're still top of the table. Well done. Wolves 2, Leicester 3, Vardy hat-trick. Yes, I have been drinking a bit. No bit about it. You're pissed, mate. Craig is even more pissed because he's gone 2-1 Vardy with 2 goals. And Blue Fox has gone Wolves 0, Leicester 3 with a Vardy hat-trick. You're all mad. Mad, I tell you. You're all mad. Next up, we have the Sunday games, and there's only 2. And the first one of these is Bournemouth against Man United. Bournemouth. Look, I did 2 running shows, one for the Premier League and one for the Championship. And the Premier League one I did with Paddy from the up the cherries in all departments, and he was saying that they were going to go for Europe. And my neighbour here, I was speaking to him today. He's a big Bournemouth fan. He thinks they still could. I think they've shot the bolt though, Wayne.
Yeah, well, that reminds me of Golden Shot burning the bolt.
Aye.
Yeah.
The extremely nice Jay Aston.
Yes. Before my time,
You're too young. You're too young, Doug. Don't worry.
yeah, Bournemouth are another side like Fulham, and Brighton that they definitely thought, like, let's push for Europe, and they just haven't made it. To be honest, then at the beginning of the season, they were flying. Every single Premier team, like they remind me how Leicester were, where and Forest are now, where all Premier sides think we are in for a game here. But they're just falling off. I know Clivert got injured, which was crucial. Evan Nielsen has been injured for a while. They've not got a massive squad. But when you look at the sort of recent, the drawn, lost, drawn, won, drawn, and like the drew against Palace, just scraped 1-0 against Fulham, drew against West Ham, who were very average, and they lost against Ipswich. So, they just, and against Palace, I mean, Palace had a guy sent off near half time, just before half time or just after. The stats, I mean, they got 70% possession, 15 shots, 4 on target, but they couldn't score. And I think they've been struggling to score. And so because of that, I have actually got Man United for a win, which I can't believe. And I would say it's Bournemouth 1, Man United 2.
Bournemouth 1, Man United 2. I think you've been looking at this way too much.
Hey! That was great work, Chris.
Oh, I'm built for speed, mate. I'm built for speed. Unfortunately, it's not always a good thing when you're dealing with women. But let me tell you this. I'm in and out. They sometimes don't even know I've been. You didn't even note at the side saying, pull me 90 down when you finish. But look, it wasn't Jay Aston. It was Anne Aston. She was hot in her day, Doug.
Doug's thinking it's black and white photo. When was that taken? 1933?
It was in the 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Me thinks that Doug's wife is lurking, so he daren't say anything. Yes. Am I right, Doug?
Yeah, she's literally in the next room, so I need to be careful.
I'll just leave that up there for you then. I'm not to go. If only I had the orgasm shot, but I don't. But anyway, now look, me and Wayne have, we've enjoyed ourselves way too long. Let's get back to the football. Man United, in the big scheme of things, Southampton have had an awful season. Leicester have had an awful season. Excuse me. Ipswich probably had the sort of season that they were kind of expecting. They knew they would struggle. But Spurs and Man United have had worse seasons than us and Southampton when you think of where they should have expected to be. How bad is this Man United team?
It's shockingly bad. I would not be surprised in the slightest if they don't get any more points until the end for the rest of the season. Because their main focus is definitely on that Europa League.
Yes.
I think you saw last week Amarim decided to play some youngsters in the game against Wolves. And look, I think the biggest problem with Manchester United is they've not scoring goals. And if you don't score goals, you don't win games. And as much as you say Garnacho is absolutely horrendous, Højlund is really bad. They've got nobody. They've got absolutely nobody to score goals apart from Bruno Fernandes. So, for me, I know Wayne went for a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I just can't see where Manchester United's next points are coming from. I really don't. So with that in mind, It was a 3-0 win to Bournemouth the last time at Old Trafford. I think Bournemouth do the double over Manchester United, and it would not surprise me in the slightest. 15 league defeats is absolutely horrendous if you're a Manchester United supporter, because you'll be tearing your hair out, the amount of defeats that you guys have had. And for me, the way that they're going, I wouldn't be surprised if they finish, well, they're obviously 14th at the moment, but 15th, 16th, wouldn't be surprised if they finish that low. So for me, I'm going to go 2-1 Bournemouth.
Wow, okay. Do you think, I mean, again, is it Amarin's fault? And he's not just taken over a team that is, I mean, look, that Man United as a club are in almost as bad a situation as Leicester are. Everything's going wrong. The ownership is broken. Everything, it's literally the foundations are falling away under that club, as they are with Leicester. If Amarin was to win the Europa League he's in? Europa
League, yeah.
Is that enough for him to keep his job, or will he keep the job anyway? Because you could argue that he's not really been able to. Well, they've got good players, haven't they?
Yeah. Look, I think a lot has been said about Amarim. A lot has been said about the fact that, Manchester United are in very, very poor form. I think it is very unlikely he gets the boot. I think they'll wait until they'll wait until the summer and see how the season goes. If the rumours are true of us about Cunha, I mean, that's a really good start to their transfer business, because Cunha is very good. The only thing that really surprised me with him is his temperament. I think that's the one thing I will say. But they need to get rid of some of that deadwood. They have so much deadwood in that team. And whether or not Marcus Rashford decides to stay on at Manchester United is another matter. But I think I'd be really serious in saying this. I would get rid of at least 8 or 9 players on that Manchester United team, because that Man United side is ridiculously bad.
Yeah. You know what they'll do? They'll win the Europa League, they'll give him an extended new contract, and then they'll sack him 3 months later. That's usually the case. Do you know what? I'm just looking at this, Doug, and we have agreed on Chelsea Everton, Southampton Fulham, Wolves Leicester, and we're going to agree on Bournemouth Man United as well, because I've gone 2-1. If you can't beat them, if you can't beat them, join them. Right, let's see what anybody has said in the chat. Bournemouth 2-0, says Craig. Ooh. Yeah, again, I can't see Man United. And it's, let's be honest with you, let's just take a moment out to look at Man United and think where they are and sort of where they are now, of where they've been. Let's just have a moment of silence. I think that's enough. Love it. Love it. Okay. Next game, of course, it's the big one. The title can be won at home for Liverpool. It'll be the second one, like you say, in 5 years, is it? It'll put you equal with Man United. And look, if you don't do it, then Slot needs sacking. But you're going to do it, if not in this game, in a game before the end of the season. And I hope you then go and do one more next season and really rub the United's nose in it. Doug, we're going to come to you as as obviously as a Liverpool fan. You'll do Liverpool here. Explain, how good has Arne Slot been this season?
He has been amazing. He came into a team that they'd obviously lost Klopp as a very, very good man manager. He came in and the style of play has changed. I'll be honest. I think it's more calm. It's more through the midfield, and people have been saying that it's very, very good on the eye as well. And we're not, for people who say that Liverpool don't really, the people are saying worst champions ever. Well, the fact is, Liverpool went on a 26-match unbeaten run. Arsenal have not won 3 games in a row all season. Now, Liverpool have won 24 games. Manchester City and Arsenal have won 18. So that's 6 more games.
Yeah.
So really, we've really gone to win this at a canter, and I'm quite surprised. But look, I think some of the games we played this season, doing the double over Manchester City was really, really good. We've the games at home. We've only lost to Forest, we've only lost to Fulham, and those games I would look back on and think, okay, it was two really poor games. Fulham away was very, very poor, and then Forest at home was poor as well. Other than that, we have been very, very good. And you know what? Losing once away from home is amazing. Losing once at home is amazing as well. I think as well when people say that what Arne Slot has brought to this Liverpool side is it's a real calmness, and I think Van Dijk signing on, Salah signing on is perfect. And last week, we did struggle to score past you, but I think that was because I think you did defend well. You did have your chances when you hit the post, and as you said, no shots on target against anybody is very, very poor. I think you're a little bit unfortunate with the disallowed goal. I think on any day that I think goalkeepers do get protection way too much, and I do think that goal that was disallowed was a bit unfortunate. But barring that, I couldn't really see you scoring. And then Trent, of all people, coming off the bench, and it looks like it's probably a goodbye. I think if you asked any Liverpool supporter at the start of the season if you wanted 3 players to stay, people will tell you Van Dijk and Salah, and then probably Trent. I think in that order, you would probably want it. So the fact Van Dijk and Salah are staying is massive. And look, I think we will have a big summer. I think we will have a big summer in terms of transfers coming in, in terms of transfers going out as well. This is the time to sort of now get slots players in. This is the time to sort of almost wouldn't sort of go through the squad like a bulldozer or anything like that. But I think it's come to a time where I think this squad needs a little bit of fresh ideas. It needs a little bit of new players to come in. Just it's nice to make a change. I think the last time we won the league, we kind of sat back and didn't really strengthen. We signed Thiago, we signed Adrian, we signed Sepp Vandenberg. So that was that summer. So I look at this game on Sunday, and the place will be absolutely buzzing. There's going to be loads of fans outside Anfield, after the game as well. And the most perfect way to do this would be to do it in style. And look, Spurs are Spurs. Ange, I am shocked he is still there. I think the Europa League form is keeping him in a job. We beat Spurs 6-3 at their place earlier in the season. We beat them 4-0 at Anfield in the Carabao Cup as well. So I think we're going to win it in style, and I'm going to go for us to thump Spurs by 4-0.
Oh, right. Well, just very quickly, Doug, I mean, you started off the season, and it's a fantastic season.
Yeah.
You've had, like you say, most wins, least losses, most goals scored. You only 2 goals conceded more than Arsenal. top. I mean, the goal difference is huge. You looked at one point like you were going to get the quadruple. You're now down to just this Premier League, but this is the one you would take over all the others, isn't it?
100%. The Premier League is about the creme de la creme. It's the one that everyone wants to win. And, to go level with Manchester United, they overtook us in 2010, 2011 to go 19-18. We obviously got them back in, it was 2020 to get 19. Obviously, they got 20 in 2012, 2013. But we've never felt like pressurised by Arsenal, because the thing is with Arsenal is that yes, their fans can complain about injuries. Well, we had so many injuries in 2021. We had 18 different centre-back partnerships. We even had to play Jordan Henderson and Fabinho at centre-back, for goodness sake. If you lose all your front line, you are always going to struggle. But I just think the way that we've played this season, we've been the best team all season, we've been the most consistent team this season. And look, it doesn't matter if City have fallen away, Chelsea have fallen away, United and Spurs are absolute car crashes of seasons that they've had. It's the fact that any team that we've been in front of us, we've beaten, or obviously drawn. 13 draws for Arsenal is way too much if you want to win a Premier League title. Way too much. I think we've got 7 draws or something. Again, in a normal season, I think 7 draws would be too much as well.
Yeah. I did like the Arsenal fan that came in the I think it was the post match, wasn't it, Wayne? And was going like, "Oh, you bloody, do you remember it?" I can't remember the exact words. But it was basically, you cheated us out of the title when you won it, and I was like, yeah, I think it's the fact of you need to look closer to home as to where your problems lie.
Do you want some salt on your chips for?
I do. Yes, I do.
Honestly, Arsenal fans online are embarrassing themselves. Liverpool deserve this league all season, and I'm going to enjoy on Sunday, and I just cannot wait to be in Liverpool on the final weekend of the season, and then obviously the parade on the Monday. It's going to be absolutely amazing to be there.
Well, all the best, fingers crossed for you, Doug. Can Spurs piss on the party, Wayne?
No. No, basically. And like you say, I mean, how is that guy still in a job? It is, as Doug said, because they are in the Europa League, but they only just scraped through there. It's interesting, isn't it? They've got Maddison, Solanke, Brennan Johnson, and I know Richarlison's been injured, hasn't he, for most of the season? But he was, even for Everton, he's such a temperamental player. So it's just like they've got a bunch of misfits, really. It's like they've spent the money, but the manager just doesn't know how to build a team.
Yeah.
And if they get knocked out of this semi-final, he's definitely gone. There's no way he's going to have another year. I think the difference is as well with Liverpool, Doug, is that Liverpool, as you said about Arsenal, they didn't sign a striker, and all Arsenal fans, the son-in-law's Arsenal fan, and they said we should have signed a striker. Why didn't Arteta sign a striker? Because that would have got those, instead of so many draws, they would have had a win. And Liverpool, sometimes you have won quite ugly, and even when Salah's he's been drawing blanks, you have just had some real hard-fought victories. Which is a difference.
It makes the marking of a good team when you win ugly, and most title teams have done that at times. We've had our fair share of ugly wins this season, but no, I think it's a very, very good season this season, and not many people had Liverpool in the top 4. I've seen a few clips this week saying, "Oh, Liverpool are going to finish 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th." So it's like, it's just
hiding, Chris. What are you hiding? Tell him, Doug.
Who would say something like that, Doug? Who would say that? I have no idea. What are you going for, Wayne?
I'm going to say it's going to be Liverpool 5.
Ooh!
I'm debating whether to put Salah back in my fantasy football team, whether we get an hat-trick. Liverpool
Hey,
5.
hang on a second, hang on. 1 hour, 20 minutes, and 2 seconds. And we mentioned the fantasy football team.
But just make a note, Chris, there was 50 other instances where I wanted to mention it, but I didn't.
It's the one that counts. So you got 5 to Liverpool. How many to Spurs?
1 to Spurs.
1-5-1. Brad went 4-1. Did I tell you that, by the way, I don't know if I told you, but that Brad went 1-1 Bournemouth Man United?
Oh?
Yes. Anyway, I think you're going to do it with ease, Brad. I think you'll... Brad, sorry, done it again. Doug, I think you will get an early lead and you'll just do what Liverpool do best, which is just hold on to the ball, don't let Spurs into it, and do what is needed. I mean, Spurs are 16th in the form table overall, and if we look at the home form, Spurs are 17th, won 1, lost 4 in the last 5, 3-0, 3-0 to Liverpool for me. Wayne, should we have another look at Anne Aston? There you go, lovely woman.
It's interesting. You go on the Spurs website on the BBC, and they've got fans putting banner up, built a business, killed a football club.
Well, it's true. One midweek game this week, guys, and that is on the Thursday of all days. Of course, the Friday game will be in next week's predictions. Thursday, Nottingham Forest hosting Brentford. Forest, like whatever we say, we know they're rivals, blah, blah, blah. Go Forest, go and get that Champions League place, which means that somebody else isn't going to get it, one of the big teams. Well, having said that, I think you could finish 14th and get the Champions League this season. Very quickly, where do you see this one going, Wayne?
Who is it? Chris? Forest and
Brentford.
Brentford, yeah. Sorry, just looking at the Forest form, yeah. I mean, they won 3 and they lost 2, and they just managed to get that victory last week, which was very important because Newcastle and Chelsea going well in Man City. Yeah. I'd say Forest will make it. I think they will beat Brentford 2-1.
2-1.
Because Chris Woods is back from injury as well, which is very important.
You may wish to change that, and I will allow you to change that if you wish to. Are you sticking at 2-1?
Yes.
Okay. Because you've agreed with Brad. Because Brad has also got 2-1. I gave you the chance. I was there. I was winking. I mean, what else could I do other than hold this thing up? Doug.
Could have been worse, Chris. I could have agreed with you.
Oh, that was uncalled for. That was uncalled for. Doug, Forest going to be in the Champions League again? Or Brentford going to put a spoke in the wheels?
Such a difficult game because obviously Forest have got Man City on Sunday, and obviously good luck to them.
Yeah.
I would love it. I would absolutely love it. I would love it if we actually have a FA Cup final that has no Manchester City in it. That would be very, very nice. So obviously good luck to Palace, Forest and Aston Villa, of course. Brentford are doing very, very well. I think Mbeumo's now got 18 Premier League goals, which is insane for a player of his quality. I think Brentford give Forest a game here. Do you know that? They really do. Believe it or not, my prediction actually was already 2-1 Forest, but I'm going to change that. I just have a feeling that we might see Brentford beat Forest. I'm going 2-1 Brentford.
Oh, right. Interesting. Well, it's taken us 8 games to get here. The first prediction of the evening was Wayne going for the Desmond. So I'm going to bookend the show, and I'm going to go for a Desmond here. because Forest at home are, where are they? They are 7th in the form table. Brentford away, they're 16th. No, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go 3-2, actually. 3-2.
There's definitely going to be goals in this game, I think.
Yes, I think there is. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win. Gentlemen, as sad a day as it is, as Jamie Vardy rides off into the sunset on Rebecca, I'm sure that sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. And thank you very much. Look, Eugene, you were doing a podcast earlier. Tell us all about it, where people can listen to it, Doug.
Yeah, absolutely. It's called the Totally Premier League Podcast. Sorry, a fly just went past me. So I was just looking up and then just saw a fly go past me. It's called the Totally Premier League Podcast, and it is on Spotify.
Have you not got a no-fly zone? Sorry, do carry on. So I interrupted you.
Very
do
good.
That.
Very, very good. It's called the Totally Premier League Podcast, and it's on Spotify and all your podcasting platforms, so please do give it a check out.
Brilliant. And Wayne, thank you very much. You're not going to be with us for the match. You're actually going out.
Yes, mate, yeah. Just want to wish Doug all the best for Saturday. Well, great season, mate.
Thank you.
On Sunday as well.
Oh, Sunday,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Sunday, 4:30.
Unless you know something that Doug is doing on the Saturday that the rest of us don't. God, I hope this damn cough goes soon. Guys, thank you very, very much. Everybody, thank you for watching. I know there's been a lot of Leicester shows on tonight about Vardy, so try and catch up. Share the video to your friends. Go on, one more time then. There you go. A bit of Van Aston. There you go. And we will see you possibly tomorrow. We might do something. If not, watch along 2:30 on Saturday. Smash the likes. Click the subscribe button. And if you've been listening via your favourite podcast platform, thank you very much for lending me your ears. Everybody, thank you very much. Take care, guys. Thank you both for joining me. We'll see you soon.
Cheers, Chris.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.